What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's a Thursday evening here in Irish time, and that means it's time for a new chapter of One Piece, which is chapter 1051, titled The Shogun of Wano, Kazuki Momonosuke. So, in the last chapter, it ended off with Momo flying into the flower capital and Denjiro kind of saying, I have a lot to explain. Uh, Denjiro obviously being one of the few that stayed there, but not everyone, no one knew he was Dendro. And Hiyori is there too. So in this chapter, I'm expecting Hiyori and Momonosuke to have their first reunion and just some wrap up because it looks, well, it doesn't look. Kaido is defeated, so maybe see how Luffy's doing and the rest of the Straw Hats after the last chapter. So our cover story is Germa 66, obviously again, and this is volume 13. We have Reiju and Ichiji walking out with Niji and Yonji, and it's just titled Germa Escapes. So that's where we're going with that, and we will skip forward to the actual chapter. Um, so it opens in the Flower Capital, and so the last chapter at the end, when Momonosuke transformed out of his dragon form, when he was landing, it was all just smoke completely covered the area, and everyone was like, "Oh God, it's Kaido." So where it opens up, they're all kind of running away from the smoke, and someone's shouting, "Wait, there's no need to flee!" And they're saying, "What?" It seems that the dragon really wasn't Kaido, really. So there are two dragons. So they're kind of realizing, okay, this is someone else. Um, they're saying something's happening in front of the castle. How can Komurasaki Sama be here? So Komurasaki is Hiyori because that was her courtesan name, and that's what everyone knows her as. And Boss Kyoshiro, what in the world is going on? That's Denjiro. Um, so Kinemon is behind them, kind of talking. He says, "You two sure have made a name for yourselves. Now I wonder whether the rest of us will still be recognizable to them." And they're kind of like, "What?" And yeah, they recognize him. They say, Ki- Kinemon don't know, but how? I thought he burned with Odin Castle that day. Kinemon's doing that like that pose that he does as he reveals himself out of the smoke. Um, and the rest of the scabbards are starting to walk out, and they're like, "But he's in front of our eyes. Is this a dream? Have we passed on to the next life? But I don't remember us dying." And they're like, "It doesn't matter if this is reality or a fantasy. Either way, I think we're about to see something monumental." We see Kawamatsu walk out. They're starting to run. They're saying, "Quick, fetch a light scroll snail. We have to get the word out to the rest of Wano." And we see Inurashi step out of the smoke. We see Raizo, and they say, "Hurry." We see Neko Mamushi and Kiku. Kiku is kind of hung over Neku Mamushi's like a gun arm, and and then the people are starting to realize, they're like, no doubt about it, it's the Red Scabbards. They've been assumed dead for 20 years. Tokisama's prophecy came true, and people are crying. They got the Denden Mushi, so we see their projectors up in Ringo, Hakumai, Kibi, Kuri, and Udon. And people are saying, seems something is happening in the capital. Is this about the earthquake? I thought the village would shake apart. Um, head to Bakura town. They're broadcasting something from the capital. This isn't the time to just stand around and watch. That's the lion the lion smile. What's his face in Udon prison saying this isn't the time to stand around and watch. And we see Ebisu town, and they're like, they're obviously laughing because they're smile users. And people are saying, what's all the fuss about? It's a light scroll snail transmission from the flower capital. So that's this is Onigashima, so this is the Straw Hats, and they're kind of squaring up to Yamato. It's Frankie is like this, and Brook is got his sword out, and they're saying, "What you mean, you're Kaido's son? So this war isn't over yet?" And Yamato's kind of like, "Hold on, hold on. I'm not your enemy. In fact, I've been following your exploits in the news for ages. By the way, I knew your crew was made up of a lot of weird-looking people, but meeting you all in the flesh is still quite a shock." And Brooke is like, "You're one to talk with those horns." And someone else is like, "Kaido's what?" And so Yamato says, "Anyway, I'll be sailing with." Oh my god. Yamato says, anyway, I'll be sailing with you from now on. I go by Kazuki Odin, but you can call me Yamato. Nice to meet you. Is this Yamato for Nakama stands are going wild right now. Yamato is officially a Straw Hat, I guess. Unless if something goes wrong, Yamato is going to be a Straw Hat, which is great. I love that. I was big on Yamato joining the Straw Hats the whole time. So Yamato joining the Straw Hats, great thing to see. Um, but the Straw Hats, it shows the Straw Hats then after she says that, and they're mixed reactions to say the least. So Nami and Usopp are both like falling back like that, and they're both just, huh? Frankie is like, "You're joining our crew," and he. I don't know how to describe how he looks. He looks kind of annoyed, but also kind of like laughing at the like he doesn't look like he's like angry over it or anything. Brooks says "Yo ho ho, I approve" with a love heart, and he's like hands up in the air. And Sanji comes along, love hearts above his head, and he says "Not as much as me." And Robin says "Haha, how amusing" with another love heart. And Jinbei says we'll need to get confirmation from the captain before I'll be convinced. And Yamato says fair enough. So overall, it looks what, 2, 4. Yeah, it's 4-3 on them. Chopper and Zoro and Luffy are obviously all unconscious, but out of the ones that are conscious, it's a 4 in favor. So I would say that Yamato will probably join the crew, which is great to see. And we get a panel of Chopper looking after Zoro and Luffy, and some I think it's Yamato says, "So is Luffy going to be okay? His battle was so intense in that form of his." And then we see some beast pirates saying, "Hey, who said you could run off? Eek, young master, please, we don't want to be servants like the others." Okay, so that's Yamato shouting at them saying, "Who said you could run off?" And then it kind of shows the Straw Hats looking at her as she's shouting down at them. And it's like Jinbei says, "Well, this one doesn't seem like an enemy at any rate." And Hamlet and what's his name, the gorilla smile are like, "Quit whining and stay put." They're kind of joining in with her. And Usopp says, "That reminds me, what's going to happen to these guys?" And Thomas says, "My jutsu always wears off when the moon's shape comes back around, so it only lasts a month." Yeah, sorry. So it only lasts a month is Usopp saying that. But yeah, that's good confirmation. It's not like infinite. She's not like permanently in control of them. It's a month. But that's good to know. Like there is a limit to the fruit. Even if a month is like way excessive, it is good that it has some limit. And then yeah, so she says the animals usually go back to normal afterwards, but some stay tamed. I'm sure they get to choose what they like best. So yeah, I'd say the lion she has is probably one that's not under the effect anymore. It just likes being with her. Um, and Speed says, "Master, I want to stay by your side. I'm happy like this." And Thomas says, "That makes me so glad, Horsella-chan. I'd love it if you stayed with me, but not as my servant. I'd rather think of you as a mother." Oh my god. That's Speed is like, oh. She's like blinded by the light of being said, like Tama just called her her mother. That's wild. And then we get kind of people saying, "Look, Komurasaki and Kin," and everyone else, they're kneeling. Who is that? Oh shit, we're getting the reveal. Oh fuck. So the scabbards are lined up in like a guard of honor, but they're all on their knees, and Momo is coming out of the smoke. So are we actually going to get adult Momo finally? So it has been 20 long years since my father died. Father, don't tell me. You have all done exceptionally well to have survived this protracted winter. He's still in silhouette at the moment. He's still in the smoke, but are we going to get the reveal now? The freedoms of the Fire Festival shall not end tonight. Starting tomorrow, all of you will be able to live as you wish. Wow, but Orochi will. You may drink as much as you please. You will no longer be charged for clean water. The toxic factories that have ravaged our land will be abolished. Slavery will cease to exist in Wano from this day forward. And Tom is saying Momo-kun. And 4 more factory workers died today. It may be our turn to go tomorrow. Okay, so this is a Tama flashback of the factories. So four more died today. It may be our turn to go tomorrow. Who should tell Otama? She has to know. Otama-chan, this will be difficult to hear, but your father and mother are daddy, mommy. So her parents died in a factory. Daddy, mommy, please rest easy. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, she's at their gravesite. She's like younger here. Like this is years ago, but she still has the lion. It is called Komachio, isn't it? But she still has it. It's a little like lion cub. It's the same size as her. So yeah, that is to confirm that like it's not under the effect of the dongo. It just likes being with her. And so she's saying, "Please rest easy. I'm gonna be okay." And she's going around with Komachio selling hats, saying hats for sale. Get your hats here. We know that she was the one who taught Ace how to make the hat for Oars Junior. So hats for sale, get your hats here. Does anybody need a hand woven hat? Sorry, no money swear, no one has any money to give her for a hat. Woven hats for sale. Sorry, Komachio, no one bought any today, and Komachio is flat out kind of dead. And one hat, please. And it's Tangiyama. Uh, he's wearing a mask. That's why I call him Tangiyama. I know his name is Hitetsu, but oh, he says one hat please, and he holds out some coins, and she just like falls backwards flat, and she's like, "Wow, you're a Tengu." And he says, "You're an orphan, I take it. Please do not give in. It will only be a few more years. Soon the Kazuki clan's mighty warriors will make their return. When that day comes, we'll finally be rid of those demonic Oni. They will no longer poison this land." And she says, "Kazuki?" And then she says, "Is that really true? Then I'll keep going. I'll be okay." And then we're back to the present. I do think that she'll be a Kurozumi. I do think that Tama will be a Kurozumi because she'll be like kind of the like the way Orochi wanted to like restore the Kurozumi clan to like honor and pride. I think she'll actually be the one to do it like successfully because she's not like conceited or anything. She grew up poor, like actually poor and stuff. I do think that she'll be a Kurozumi. I we might if it's going to be revealed who she actually is, like what clan she's from, I think it'll be Kurozumi. But anyway, we're back to the present, and she's crying. She's holding Nami. Nami is holding her, and Nami's kind of like Otama, and then it's just like Tama. Well, don't celebrate like this is special, Tama. By the time we leave this country, it'll be a place where you can eat as much as you want every single day. That's she's thinking about what Luffy said to her before the raid. That was, or was that like the first thing he said to her when she was like, "I'm hungry"? Something like that. It was like one of the first things he said was the promise that he'd get her food. But yeah, so an announcement is coming over. This is Momonosuke talking. He's saying Orochi's tyrannical regime and the menace of Kaido are gone for good. I met powerful and passionate friends on my voyage, and together our ninja pirate mink samurai alliance raided Onigashima. So the name is still being used. The Ninja Pirate Mink Samurai Alliance lives on. Let's go. Kaido, Orochi, and the Beast Pirates, the monsters that have kept you living in fear, have all been vanquished. And they're all the citizens are like, what? He's out of the smoke now, so he's still in silhouette because this panel is from behind him, so all we see is black. He's holding up his sword, and we don't see him, but everyone's kind of like, what? So I'm guessing is he serious? They were all beaten. The awful Orochi is gone. That's the citizens. Kid saying our alliance. He looks kind of pissed, but like Kid is always pissed. So what's different there? So all the citizens are like, yeah. Beppo is kind of holding law, and we will never forget the heroes who paved the way to make this possible. We see Carrot crying. I also am a big proponent that Carrot should join the Straw Hats as well. You know, why not both Yamato and Carrot? But yeah, maybe if Carrot is like too young for it, I guess. But she could be like a an apprentice kind of thing, and she can also fight. Like she does have Electro and Sulong form. But we see what's her name? The Smile Yasui's daughter. I can't remember her name. Toko, that's the one. We see Toko there smiling, and okay, so what in the middle of a speech, Momo just goes, psst, Kinemon, now what? I'm not sure what to say next. And Kinemon says, as they say, fake it till you make it, which is nice. And we see Momo's lower half of his face. He has long hair, I will say, but his the top of his face above his nose is blocked out by a thought bubble of Luffy saying, "What are you, Momo? Just a figurehead? Does anything in the world still seem scary to you?" And then he's speaking now. He says, My name was given to me by my father. It means second to none. I swear to live up to that by restoring this country's barren lands to the paradise they once were. But I'll need you to lend me your strength. I have transcended the last 20 years to save this land from this moment on. Okay, this is the end of a page. I can see that the next page is a double page. I'm guessing this is going to be the reveal of Momo's full face because we see like half of his face in this page, but it's the other half is blocked out by his speech bubble, and he's like mouth open, so we can't really see his face. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Wano will be led by me, Kazuki Momonosuke. He kind, I think he looks like Odin, but like his hair is down and stuff. So like Odin's hair was usually up. Um, so he's fully grown, obviously, but like yeah, this is the first reveal of Momo. I like his look. He looks like Odin if he wasn't wearing makeup and stuff, which is pretty cool. And so he says Wano will be led by me, and we see Kiku and Neko crying, Kawamatsu crying, Hiyori crying, Denjiro crying, Kinemon crying, all the citizens crying, and we hear his thoughts. He's like, "Mother, I will keep my promise. Father." Oh, we get Odin on this page. Yeah, they look the same, except he doesn't have the like mutton chops, the sideburns. Uh, yeah, they look the same. I will continue along the path you started. And all the citizens are like Momonosuke-sama. We see Sanji lighting a cigarette and kind of looking happy. We see Nami and Frankie celebrate. Or sorry, that's Yamato and Frankie celebrating. We see Nami and Tama kind of hugging and looking happy. We see Momo kind of looking like he has a duty to fulfill. Yeah, he actually there's the panels here. He looks exactly like Odin. Um, maybe like he is same nose, same eyebrows, same mouth, same chin, same. It's just his hair was different there, so I wasn't really sure. And so the true Shogun has returned. My deepest apologies for the delay, Momonosuke-sama. Um, yes. Sakura petals dance in a future sky where warriors can finally rest their blades. A man 8 years of age surveys their progress as they drift in the night air of the renowned land of samurai. He may lack physical strength, but he compensates with his devotion to duty and boundless compassion. This is all the narrator speaking. Uh, this man will one day be known far and wide as one of Wano's greatest leaders. We have just borne witness to the birth of the great shogun Kozuki Momonosuke. Our young hero stands tall is the editor note, and that's the end of chapter 1051. Holy shit. Um wow. I just this chapter is unbelievably good. As well, I was kind of reading through the narration there, but yeah, we see Hiyori and Momonosuke have their reunion. So Momo is just kind of holding, like they're hugging each other. Um, it's kind of confusing perspective. Hiyori is very tall, like but she's only up to like here on him. I can't tell if she's like on her knees or if he is genuinely just that tall, like because we don't know how tall he is. We haven't seen him next to anyone. We can assume he is very tall, but like that much taller than Hiyori would be wild because Hiyori's like two Zoros tall and Zoro's like 6'1", so we'll have to see. I assume we'll get a panel of him standing next to Luffy in a couple chapters or something. But yeah, fucking banger chapter. Last week was not so great, but this week is back on form. What a good chapter. Yeah, just so good. I am so excited to see what comes next. It's obviously we're going into post Wano now because who's gonna fight? Like who's gonna fight? Who's there? Like who's gonna fight the Wano samurai? Who's gonna fight Luffy? Who's gonna fight the Straw Hats? Who's gonna fight the Kid Pirates? Who's gonna fight the Heart Pirates? No one can do that. And the Minks, like they're done. It's post Wano is next. Like Wano is finished. Wano is done. This is post Wano now. I'm officially calling it. This is the end of Wano, and what a great end. I'm excited for what's to come. Before the raid, I think it was like chapter 984, 983, something like that. When they were sailing to Onigashima, we had that scene of like the Straw Hats and they had their like flagons of ale and stuff, and they were like getting ready to party, and then Luffy kind of slammed his flagon down. He was like, "We won't party until we win," and they all kind of agreed to that. So, and then they were like, "We'll have a massive feast when we win." So massive feast next chapter, start of the massive feast next chapter. I think when we get to the massive feast, we will get like an info dump because we still have Kaido's road poneglyph, that road poneglyph in the basement that Law was at. We need to see what's the story with that. There's probably a couple more or poneglyphs in Wano because it's the land of the Kazuki, and the Kazuki were the ones who made the poneglyphs. Um, there's a lot to happen. Could probably get a lore dump in here. We have to see what's happening in the outside world. We have to see what the story is with those world government ships that Zunisha is standing next to. We have to open the borders. There's so much to happen. So much to happen. I'd say this post arc could be 10, 15 chapters. We might get some flashback to the Rocks Pirates. I'm bullish on that, even if Kaido is defeated, and I thought he'd be the vehicle for it. Yeah, I just so much to happen, so much to do. Great chapter, love it. Can't wait for chapter 1052, which I think is next week, and I can check that actually. I think it's next week. I think from here on out, everything will be it's 3 chapters break, 3 chapters break. So yeah, banger. Yeah, no break next week. So I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like. Consider subscribing if you want more One Piece content, not just chapter reviews. I'm doing other stuff as well. And yeah, unbelievable chapter. If you enjoyed, as I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time. Peace.